There's a little change of plan from when talking about where Angie and Cata grew up. I wanted to talk a little bit first about, since we were close by on the map, about the accident that happened to John Silva's Uncle John, cousin Johnny's son.
John Jr.
That's his name, is John Jr. Okay, so what we have right here is I guess let's just orient people. Here's here's Schley and here's the property.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is the ditch. Okay, and if you walk that way, there's CF&I that way.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so go ahead. One of you guys start pointing at things and tell me the story.
Yeah, she knows all. Okay, here's the grandma and grandpa. Here's the parking lot. Here's grandma and grandpa's house over here.
Okay.
Go under the freeway. CF&I is like Mark said up that way, and he had to have gotten out of the gate because the gate was all around the house. I don't know how, but the baby got out with the dog.
Who knows? What was the name of the dog?
Spotty.
Okay.
And with the little dog Spotty, and was walking or crawling, we don't know which.
Yeah.
Got to the ditch, fell in there.
Yeah, right there.
About right there. Mm-hmm. And as what I can remember, when the police and the fire department came, they went directly to that pipe that was over here and going into the CF&I. There was a pipe there to see if he had gone in there or whatever, and they didn't find it. So I don't know where they found little Johnny. I just couldn't see it anymore.
Okay.
But that's about where it was.
Tell me what you remember about that day.
That was the saddest day of our family. Wondering how did he get out of there and followed that little dog all the way to the ditch, and they couldn't find him nowhere. And the little dog, Spotty, evidently drowned as well because they never did find him. They didn't find the dog.
Yeah, there was a rumor that they did find the dog, and that they were mad at somebody was mad at the dog and killed the dog, but that didn't happen.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody, I don't know.
Yeah, they said they were looking for it, but they couldn't find the dog.
Yeah. Okay. Angie, do you remember that day?
No, I don't remember that day.
Yeah. How old were you, and Cata?
Me?
Yeah.
I was 19.
Okay.
19, yeah.
All right.
19.
Well, that's interesting, Angie, because you would think that you would remember, but it's back in your mind somewhere, because you would have been 15. You would have
All I can remember is Grandma said, "Oh no, where's little Johnny? Where's little Johnny? We don't know." And they were looking. The police were looking.
Oh,
the
my.
firemen were looking. They did find him.
Who's the one who was worried about what?
Grandma.
Oh, Grandma. Grandma was the one panicking. Peggy was there.
Peggy was there. Myself.
Yeah. That's right. Johnny was on his way to England.
On his way to England.
Oh man, this is getting
crazy.
On
his way, and
it
was beside all of us.
Yeah.
Were just.
And the child's name was John.
Yeah.
John Sandoval. Okay.
John Silva.
John Silva. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
John
Silva. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
And so when and we had but hours before, whatever, my brother flew out to Germany.
Oh, really? On that same day?
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
In fact, he had just landed or was going to land or something.
Yeah.
He got the word about the baby drowning, and he literally just made a U-turn and came back.
Oh my goodness!
And that was the hardest thing to see. My brother and my sister-in-law. You don't know what to tell them or what to do.
Well, everybody must have been weeping.
We were very much, very much so. The first baby in our family, he was so precious.
Yeah. This is an awkward question to ask at this moment, but I don't know much about my memories of my own grandpa or grandpa is, by the way, some of us call him grandpa.
Grandpa?
We call him grandpa, at least in our family. Yeah, we call him grandpa.
Okay.
He, my impression of him is as a man who's kind of not very verbal.
Oh,
It-
yeah, Grandpa. I don't remember remember me and Grandma and Peggy. We were crying until we couldn't cry anymore.
yeah, yeah,
And Simon was holding on to me and holding on to Peggy. Peggy was always so.
yeah.
Oh yeah, and Grandma.
Gee.
Grandpa.
And Simon himself was only like 20 years old, right?
Yeah,
22.
He was 22.
Yeah, yeah.
He
What?
was 3 years older than
Yeah,
me.
yeah. Well, what a thing to have to undertake at 22.
Didn't cry, huh?
Well, I don't remember.
Well, I guess that's what I'm trying to ask.
I don't remember.
Yeah, yeah,
Grandma
yeah,
and
yeah.
Peggy and myself.
Yeah, I don't have any right to say what my grandpa was like.
Yeah, yeah.
But just by collecting different things, because grandma was very vocal and very vivacious and lively,
Yeah.
and grandpa was always just kind of chuckling,
Yeah.
lightly chuckling in the delight that is her, right?
Yeah.
He loved her and he allowed her vivaciousness, but he himself kind of just seemed to kind of be a kind of a low key.
Cool guy.
Yeah,
Cool
yeah.
Grandpa.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
cool grandpa.
Yeah, yeah.
We'd be
He's
laughing
something
up a
else.
storm. Me and
Yeah.
Grandma would be laughing up a storm just about any little thing on TV or whatever.
Yeah.
And he'd say, why'd you stop laughing so much?
What are you laughing at?
Oh, Luna. She
Luna.
would tell him.
She called him Luna.
And when she was
Okay.
really upset with Grandpa about something, then she'd say the V.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, what would you call him otherwise?
She would just Luna.
Oh.
But when she got upset with him, it was the V. Luna.
Oh, she called him Luna.
Yes,
Oh, what did he call her?
her too. He called.
They called her Luna?
Yeah, he called her Luna too.
Yeah. Both
But
called
when
each
she was
other Luna.
she was upset with him, she'd say, David, Luna,
Oh, okay.
like that. David, Luna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she'd go, okay, Luna.
Yeah.
And to her.
So I that was a little awkward because we're talking about the sorrow of the day, but it just kind of reminded me of not knowing much about how Grandpa responded,
Yeah.
because of all the stories that we got, of these really trying moments, we don't really have any kind of sense, I mean, we don't even have a record of the day that you don't even remember when you told me that when they got the word about Uncle Leandro had been killed in battle.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't say
We
any.
didn't even know about that.
Yeah, yeah. Although you guys were there, right? You guys lived down the street, right? That was in 1945. You guys lived down the street,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
right? That's when he
Yeah.
died,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so they never took you guys aside and said, "Hey, I've got something to tell you," or none of that. They didn't say anything about his death.
No.
So there's kind of I don't know, the word I all want to use for that is stoic, and like they didn't, they didn't.
No, I didn't say it.
They didn't. But this is kind of like in line with kind of,
I guess in those days, they just, the kids were supposed to not know things.
yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Oh, go to your room.
Yeah.
Everything's okay. Go to your room.
Yeah.
That's what we used to get.
Yeah.
Or go outside and play.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
Well,
It was a
I'm glad we
generational
got it
kind
done.
of thing, wasn't it?
The
Yeah.
children weren't allowed to hear.
Yeah. Because, earlier today we were reviewing a lot of the tragedy of the 7 children. 4 died untimely. The 2 children in infancy, David and Carmelita, and then Uncle Leandro dying in war, and then your mother Flora giving birth or gave birth and died because of, what did they say on the death certificate? You said?
Giving birth.
Oh, I thought you said it was something else that they said on a different.
High blood pressure.
High blood pressure. Well, which brought up a question about whether or not there actually was a live birth.
Yeah, it
And
was
about-
live birth. My brother found out that. He found that out. that it was a live birth.
So we know for sure it was a live birth.
Yes. And also that they asked you said that.
Yeah.
But
They
then,
asked my dad, what does he think about the baby? What is your plans for the baby?
yeah,
And he says, I don't want the baby, I want my wife.
Yeah.
And the doctor told him, your wife is gone.
yeah,
You have to make a decision on the baby.
Yeah.
I don't want the baby.
Yeah,
They didn't want
yeah.
the baby.
you know, but I
I don't understand that.
Well, look at there's kind of like a legal issue here too, because if it's a live birth, then a biological parent is not entitled to allow a child to die.
Yeah, right.
So it's either that the child was not viable after birth and died, right?
Yeah.
Or intriguingly, that it was a live birth and somebody took it off for foster care or for care.
Yeah.
And in which case, there's an interesting thing about whether or not you have a sister somewhere out
And
there.
the thing is that my sister,
not
I didn't know
understand.
this. My sis said that, didn't you tell me that dad told you?
That my dad told me that mother died, but she had a baby. She was pregnant. And she passed away, and the doctor went to him and told, your wife died, but would you like to say, we could save the baby?
Yeah, okay.
And he said, no. He said, I don't want you to save the baby. Let the
Okay.
baby go with the mom.
Okay. See, because
That's the story he told
okay.
me.
If that is true, that means that the baby died with your mom
Yeah.
while giving birth. So the baby died, not actually being born,
Right.
but died prior to birth
But
with the mother.
but that isn't what my grandmother told me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's two stories here.
There's
My
two
grandmother
stories.
said the baby was already out of my mother. And that's why they asked him that, did you want to, the baby? What
Yeah.
are we going to do with the baby?
Yeah, okay.
She had the baby, I don't know, baby girl or boy.
Yeah, and we don't know a name for it, do we?
No.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And so he said, oh no, I don't want the baby. I want my wife. Like I just told
Okay.
you earlier.
Yeah, yeah.
I want my wife.
Yeah.
I mean, I want my wife. Yeah, he said they want
Yeah,
to marry. Anyway, and he said, I don't want it. So Grandma said she didn't see the baby, but she knows that her daughter gave birth to that baby.
Okay.
That
So
she knew.
and if that is true, then one of two things have had to happen, because in that case there's a legal issue, because the father would have had to grant releasing the child for somebody else to
Yes.
raise it.
Yes.
You know,
Right.
like what we have now, right? In many cities, you could drop off a child, a born child,
Yeah.
off at the fire station,
Or the
Yes.
church.
yeah, or church,
Yeah.
or at the hospital,
They do that.
and then they
Yeah.
take the child in, and then they
Yeah.
find a home or a foster or
Yeah,
something
foster
for.
home.
So it's either that happened, or that the child died soon, not being too viable for life outside of afterwards. But that's a sticky situation, because you have to do something to try to save that child,
Yes.
because it's now
Right.
a legal person,
Yeah.
you know, being born. This is a very interesting story. I don't know if we're gonna, but like you said, and it's an awkward thing to say again, but Angie, you might be right in that between trusting Grandma and trusting Mr. Barajas, probably Grandma's version, if is more trustworthy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. At the same time, those issues are very.
That's the only story I knew about it. But
Yeah.
I never knew,
Yeah.
you know.
But it's interesting
Grandma
talking
said
about
that.
it right now, because there you have it, two stories, right? And yeah, the only way that's ever going to be solved is if just speculating, I mean, just kind of having a flight of fantasy here, right? Say, for example, that you did have a sister, and that sister grew up and she had children.
Yeah.
Yes.
That you could go to one of these sites like Ancestry.com or something that looks at genetic codes and things like that, or that is a genealogy. And you could find a niece or a nephew that would be the son or daughter of this of this person. That would be that would have some close relationship to you.
And the reason that I say that I believe my grandma is because a doctor would not, he knew that my mom was gone and the baby was born. The baby was in their arms.
Okay.
And he's asking my dad, what is his plans for this baby? And that's what he responded, because grandma was right there.
Yeah. So all things put on the table, there's a credible story there. Let me stop this and continue on with another video.